Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. And to kick off the new year, Megan and I thought, first of all, happy 2025, everyone.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's ready to kick this year in the butt. I don't know.
Full disclosure, it is 2024 as we're recording this. But for you guys, as you're listening, it is now a new year. We thought it'd be fun to do a 2025 pop culture and world event prediction episode. I think we ran through at least it wasn't a full episode at the top of last year, but we did the same kind of list thing. Made one with our dad. We did review it. I don't think we got literally anything.
Oh yeah, I remember reviewing it.
But
so
this
we're
year
here to do the same thing.
We have each thought of, I thought of 10.
I thought of 11. I doubt. Do you think we'll have any of the same ones? I feel like maybe. There's one I could picture.
I could picture some overlap.
But anything.
I tried to go
goes.
semi-specific. It's no fun if it's just basic.
I tried to be specific, but also I wanted a little bit of give me something. Yeah. So it's specific enough where I feel like it's if I got that, that'd be pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. Before we do that, we're gonna do our weekly spotlights as well as our book updates and anything else we want to catch you guys up on. Weekly spotlight. What do you got?
My weekly spotlight is not the Iowa bowl game because we lost.
I know. It really was because I worked for today, so did Ciera.
Watch it work at all?
A little bit.
We turned it on TV.
Beginning of second quarter, and then I watched. I mean, I wasn't actively able to just pay attention to it the whole time, and I was trying to catch up on notes because I did really good when I was seeing my first skilled patients, and then I had multiple outpatient people, which it's just harder for me to do my notes when I'm doing my outpatient people. And then I had an eval. I just was trying to catch up, and I was supposed to be out of there at a certain time to get to an appointment, so I was speed typing. We lost, so there wasn't much to write home about.
No. What is my weekly spotlight then? What did we do this weekend?
Because I'm when was the last time we recorded? Was that after Christmas, before Christmas? Probably before. So Christmas it's been the longest week of my life. Literally, yeah. Christmas is my weekly spotlight.
That's a good one.
Oh my God.
It feels
forever. Feels like Christmas was 2 weeks ago at least.
Also, I got I got a lot of great Christmas presents, obviously, very thankful for those. If you guys want to watch our Christmas haul, that's up on our YouTube channel. But I got 2 things in the mail today.
Did you try those on?
I did.
What'd you think?
I liked them. So I got a pair of
She was inspired by me.
And then a new pair of Brooks tennis shoes. So catch me.
The Isabel wide leg figs pants.
Those have to be new because
I think
I
they
was
have to
literally looking for. I was I want high-waisted, side pocket, loose-fitting pants. And I was nope.
Don't have them, there. But there they are.
So, yeah, they're very
design.
Cute. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I also had some faves. I would say top favorites. I've been really liking my Free People Movement vest. I think it's really cute with sweatshirts. And then my UGG lounge set. Love that.
Me too.
I also, for anyone who cares, I did put some of my gifts that I was able to find links to. I have an LTK. I don't entirely know what my username is, but if you search my name, hopefully you could find it. And I linked some stuff there that I could. I also got some new hair tools. The Shark Smooth Style and the Shark Speed Style Pro, which I have been enjoying. Yeah. Book updates. Is there anything else just life-wise you're wanting to fill people in on?
Life-wise, no. Not really. Book updates. I finished my reading goal. I met my 50 books of the year. That's probably honestly all
I need help figuring out what my next read is going to be, so you can maybe contemplate with me.
So the book that I finished to meet my reading goal was by Charlie Donnelly. It's called, all his books kind of sound the same to me, so I need to actually, The Girl Who Was Taken. Give it 4 stars.
If you had to rank the Charlie Donnelly books you read, what would be?
Make me, because it's kind of in one ear out the other.
Okay.
With those books. I remember admit, 20 years later.
I read those
the one
FDIs
the most.
And I'm I literally I could not tell you. I couldn't tell you even the briefest of synopses for that book because I don't know.
They're good when you're reading it. 20 years later does stick out as I think, the most.
I agree.
Like,
and maybe it's just because it was the first one we read. I don't know.
But the rest kind of blend together. This one was good, though. Had a twist that I didn't really see coming. So, yeah. And now I'm currently reading P.S. I Hate You by Lauren Connolly.
I finished reading a book today. I finished reading A Rain of Rose, which was the third, and I believe it's the last book in the Sacred Stones trilogy, but I am kind of wondering if there's going to be like an offshoot series, but I haven't looked into that at all. And I rated it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. The second book was my favorite. I know I rated that one 5 stars. Do I remember why? No, but I did. So I felt like this was like a nice finisher to the series. I thought it was a solid finish. So I will not complain. And I have now read 61 books as my total for 2024. And I am upping my goal for next year to try and get to 60 books. Because my goal this year was just 50. And I think
And you got 60 the past 2 years.
58 for 2023.
I'm keeping mine at 50. Because I think I've hit 50 dead on the past 2 years. And I just...
So we're going to up it and see how I do. We have a book club book that I could read next, but I just don't really feel like doing that one next. We're reading The House on the Cerulean Sea. Is it on?
I think so.
It's that book. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm not super excited to read that for whatever reason. So I feel like I want something else, something maybe shorter-ish, maybe 300-ish pages. So if anyone, I'm asking you guys for ideas, but I will have decided at this point. I'll probably decide sometime tonight. You know what I could read that I have not read yet?
What?
I have not yet read a novel love story, which I feel like I do eventually want to get to it.
You could read The Ministry of Time.
I need to look at what that's about
and
how long it is. But yeah, otherwise, no other reading updates. All right, without further ado, I guess we get into our predictions. I have mine in no particular order. We've got some, it's just mixed in with however I thought of it, okay? So, would you like to start with yours, or do you want me to start?
I feel let's alternate. I can go first. Actually, you have more, so you should go first.
Okay. My first one's kind of random, but I was watching Monday Night Football Countdown when this started. So my first prediction is George Kittle and Claire Kittle are going to be expecting their first child.
I feel
just feels like that's a good timeline. I feel like they've been married for 5 years.
They had a miscarriage. They had announced.
Oh, I did not know that.
So we know
so
kids are on the mind.
It just really feels like it's going to if I were to say odds. Oh wow. If I were to say odds, I feel like that's 85% chance of that's happening.
I agree.
So it was just I was coming up with my list. George Kittle walks on screen, and I was like, "You're gonna be my first 2025 prediction victim."
Speaking of,
and then I went a football tangent. So
NFL players, Atavis marriage or engagement.
That was the one thing where I was like, I bet we both put that. I put Travis and Taylor get engaged. I was kind of do I actually think that's going to happen? And I'm a little split because I'm I think Travis is probably going to play one more year at least in the NFL. But I am kind of
she really could be in her WAG era though.
They both also they're both pretty established. They're both 35. Not that there's any timeline on when someone needs to get married or engaged, but they both have made it pretty clear they want to settle down and have a family. So it does
not with each other. You must then move on. You know what I mean?
Right.
They've been dating long enough where they had to have had these conversations in some capacity.
Some people already think they got engaged in Lake Como. So I feel like it reasonably could happen this year. She's gonna be done with tour. They'll have the off season.
And I feel like Taylor's she's gonna be ready to settle down. This Eras tour, whether or not it was her, global send off, who knows? But I doubt she's ever gonna do anything that big ever again.
Right. And for that length of time.
So
that was my.
You had that one too then?
I did. Okay. My next one, again, I was in the football mindset. This is my last football one, okay? Because you already said Taylor and Travis. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. I feel as though...
Like after this year?
Yeah. I feel as though I think the Jets are going to want to move on from him. Like the last game, they were 33-0 against whoever they were playing, so they benched him and went to their other guy. It just doesn't seem like he's in his prime, and I don't know that there's another NFL team that's going to like want to take a chance on him. Yeah. So I feel like he's the kind of guy that would rather like step out himself and just kind of like hang the hat up.
So then what do you think if we like elaborate on that? Like where do you see his like next steps outside of football?
It has to be like in the Pat McAfee. No, I don't.
I could see him doing some like weird political stuff.
Because I feel like he would have stepped in sooner than I feel like if...
He'll fine. Like, you know what he's going to do? He's going to go retire and he's going to like get some sort of like role in the Trump administration.
He could go join Robert Kennedy.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That seems kind of like
I feel like he's so often on the Pat McAfee show. I feel like he would just like to sit and like have some sort of like hosting gig that's not super high stakes. I mean, come on, going into politics, that is like not doing nothing. You're not really retiring. And I feel like
more of like a political pundit, maybe.
I think he would rather have his own little soapbox, not necessarily solely political, that he would be able to just like talk about whatever. Mm-hmm. So whether or not
Pat McAfee he show would not really be the alleyway for that.
Have his own show. He could get his own podcast. You know, every football player ever is doing it. He probably will get his own
podcast. I could see that. What would it be called?
He is so unoriginal. It's going to probably just be like the Rodgers, like the Aaron Rodgers show. The Roger Report. That's a good one. Okay.
My next one is Taylor Swift themed. This is likely going to happen, so it's not much of a prediction, but I had to get, some
Reputation Taylor's version
and announcement. I said she's going to release the final re-releases, so Debut and Reputation, not necessarily together. I just think this is the year she's going to like finish it,
because it's been like,
and people have talked about like a pattern.
Like 2,
yeah,
and then a whole year where she doesn't, or she has her own other
she did Midnights
album. Well, like yeah, so it's like 2 re-releases,
new album,
2 re-releases, new album. You're back on 2025 is 2 re-releases, which is maybe this whole time she's kind of like, guys, I've clearly established a pattern.
I can only go so fast.
I am not releasing because now she has the year off. She needs to have something strategically planned.
I think I've seen something. Isn't she like directing a movie?
I keep seeing that as well. So I think, but it probably won't be out like next year. So she'll have in 2026 another original album and whatever.
She'll probably make an original album for her movie.
That would be crazy. That'd be a lot of work, but she could do that. She's on her way to get like a Grammy, or not a Grammy. Oh my God, she's got many Grammys. Yeah, she wants to get an Oscar. Okay, my next one. This is also in the music genre. Bruno Mars announces a new album.
It is a lot of hope in that one.
It is time. He is currently, it's crazy, you guys. He has the most monthly listeners on Spotify right now. And he has not released an album since 24 Karat Magic, which I don't remember that one when that came out. Actually, Silk Sonic was 2020. That was his most recent album. But like solo, it was like 2016. Like we're so far from that. We are 9 years removed from your last solo album. It is time to release something new. So I'm hopeful that 2025 is the year because I'm a huge fan of Bruno Mars and I love his stuff. And he's a great...
What's Lady Gaga at for monthly streams?
She's like number 4 in the world. She's like at 112 million.
Dang,
I just looked.
The world loves that song. That was a smile. That's crazy. Next on my list is a Sabrina Carpenter and Gracie Abrams collab. Initially, I was thinking Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo collab, but I don't think we're quite there yet. And I also feel like their song style is a little bit different right now. Like they wouldn't, I don't know how they would mesh quite yet.
They like both do their, they do their own thing, and it's like
Olivia's
separate.
very much still like angsty teen, like almost like this punk rock, but like not really punk rock, but like, that kind of vibe. And then Sabrina's like going more like pop, bubblegum princess route. And I feel like Gracie Abrams, they both obviously are, friends,
children of Taylor Swift.
So if they don't already if they're not already in cahoots with one another, I feel like they could easily connect. and since Gracie Abrams, like they both kind of had like their, rise this past year. So I feel like a collab
Make
could
a lot of
be
sense.
in the works.
All their people know the same people.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Sabrina Carpenter, I also had a prediction with her. This is one that I would love to see. As we know, she's newly single.
Ooh, you have a new bow
I have
for her?
a new bow for her. I don't know if you have any.
No. I kind of want to like guess though. Is it an actor or an athlete? Or a singer?
None of the above.
Really? But he's famous?
Yeah.
Famous for what? He's
SNL.
a social media. Oh, the Emil guy. Is that his name?
His name's Marcelo Hernandez
Oh.
Domingo. The reason being, I just felt like they looked really cute together when he went and did that one thing at her concert, and they both posted, I think she posted stuff too. They both posted the photos, and I could see it, and I feel like it's one of those things. It reminds me of, like, this is not the same actually. The more I think about it, but I just brought up to Ciera again. I was like, Lily Reinhart is literally dating her boyfriend because he like made a skit where he was like pretending to be Cole Sprouse. I was just making sure I knew which one. On the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she thought it was funny, and that's how the door opened. And I feel like this is like similar in the way that's like, a funny guy can go a long way.
You know who I low-key could see
like,
her with? Just because this guy somehow dates every beautiful woman in Hollywood? Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
I feel like she would be like...
I feel like it'd be like...
She would have to like get her fix, and then they'd part ways.
Yeah. To be honest, in a way, I feel like that's what Barry was for her. I feel like... I just never really saw them as endgame. I feel like he kind of was that for her. I don't think she needs like a Pete Davidson to
Barry
get...
Keoghan was her Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
I like your thought. I think it's possible. I personally feel like I could see her going the athlete route.
Especially because in her song, she...
Yes.
Okay. What sport do you feel like is most probable?
I mean, she is friends with Taylor Swift, who,
Football.
has her hands in the NFL.
She wants to join the Wags.
Let's think. Sabrina's our age. Who in the NFL? I think Jalen Hurts is... He is engaged. So he is off the market. Our prediction for him for last year did not come true. Who else, though, is... I'm probably going to say an NFL player who is, like, in a relationship. So sorry. But I'm just going off the top of my head.
like anyone... Like, I can't think of a single other NFL player who's, like, in her... What I would be looking for an age range for her that's, like... I feel like she kind of needs someone that's, like, big and, like...
What if she dated Joe Burrow?
Larger than life. Like, that would not happen at all.
They, like, personality-wise. Apparently, he's also, like, dating Olivia Ponton or whatever that whole thing is. But... I also, personality-wise, don't see them ending up together.
I'd have to, like, have a list of football players in front of me, but I don't see that, personally.
What sport do you see?
I feel like... I don't know any baseball players. There could be some options there. I feel like no to basketball, and also, like, the height difference would
be crazy.
Insane. NHL, I feel like Tate McRae, she tried that out. No luck. What else we got? What are the other major sports?
We got basketball, we got hockey, we got football, we got soccer. It's not huge in the US, but
I don't know. I can't think of a specific player, but, like, I do feel like NBA, like, if I'm just thinking, like, league-wise, what seems most fitting for her, that's what's calling my name.
The NBA.
So.
Okay. That is fair.
I root for Marcelo, though, overall.
Okay. You are up next.
No, because didn't I just do that?
Oh, okay. Right. My next one is Chaperone disappears from, like, pop culture.
Okay. Like, to never be heard from or seen of again?
Like,
okay.
She is quite literally, it is going to be the rise and fall of the Midwest princess. We know that she, like, flew into popularity this year and, like, seemingly hated everything about it. So I feel like, I don't know what she's doing right now. Money. I feel like she's just going to be like, yeah, I'm done. And then just disappear.
I wonder if she's made, like, since she kind of has, like, been less quiet, has she had any, like, major public appearances or performances or anything?
I don't know.
Because that would be telling, I think. But I haven't really been keeping up with her day to day.
Like, I'll be curious. I don't know, like, when her last new piece
she just did,
of
like,
music
the
was
Sabrina
released.
Carpenter Christmas special.
Maybe she'll, like, do, like, some smaller appearances, like, on different, like, mediums. But, like, her, like, touring and, like, content stuff will, like, start to die down. Will she or won't she release anything new? And then she fades out on her accord.
I'm not really sure I agree with this one, but that's why it's a prediction, I guess. Because we'll see if you're right or wrong. Okay, my next one. I always feel like I like to put something on here of like, who do I think is going to get canceled? Okay? Like some sort of scandal happens, and I don't know what it is, but I feel like I like to have someone. And for this year, I predicted Mark Rober. And to my knowledge, he has not been canceled. So I was incorrect about that. My prediction for next year is Kai Cenat. I know nothing about this guy, but I feel like this year, I'm sure he's been streaming for quite a while, but like this year, quite literally, had no idea who the guy was. He's in commercials. And I felt so like out of the loop.
I'm still out of the loop.
I still feel like I am out of the loop,
Like,
honestly.
the only thing I know is that you have told me is that he's a streamer. I'm like,
because otherwise
okay.
you'd be like, who is this person? And because that's what I was thinking. So I feel like whenever someone comes, like, at least seemingly from my eyes, like comes up super fast out of nowhere, there's just like more
They haven't been vetted
area
yet.
to like have not been vetted. So like even if nothing comes up like this year, something from his past could like come up to haunt him or get him canceled. I'm not rooting for the guy to get canceled.
She
I
knows
don't
nothing
know
about
him.
him.
I know nothing about him. In fact, he's got brand deals, so maybe brands have vetted him and whatnot. And he seems maybe like a pretty tip-top shape guy. I don't know. He's just the person that came to mind this year, so
he's on the list.
he's on the list.
Next one I have is, I feel like this is going to happen because I think that now we've like made it a thing where it just will happen. So we know Barbenheimer was like all the rage in 2023. And this year, not as talked about, but Wicked, and Gladiator 2 being released at the same time. I think we're seeing a trend of like movies being released at the same time that are supposed to have like a predominantly female audience and a predominantly male audience that are then going to like, the point is to like make a box office like competition to then see which movie has the bigger opening.
It's like Battle of the Sexes, but
yes. And
movie
so
turnout.
I honestly tried to make a prediction of like what movies are going to be released.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I tried
did
to
you?
deep dive into like what I think the female movie is going to be. Snow White is coming out next year, so that could be
Are there like specific release dates for next year, or like no?
in March or something. I literally tried so hard to like find movies released at the same time that I thought would maybe be the it movies. So only time will tell. I couldn't fully land on movies that I thought would be it that were being released around the same time. But like, for example, I think there's like a Mission Impossible movie also coming out next year. I don't think those movies are going to be out at the same time, but it'd be like Mission Snow White or something. Like that's what they'd call it. But I think we're going to see
More of that
happen again.
and that next year.
So
Okay. My next one. This was like one of my more unique ones. I feel like 2025 is the year that Ned Fulmer breaks his silence. Him or Ariel.
okay.
They've been
What if
they've
they
been
release a book?
dark. Okay? Dark since 2022. This is a long time. It's been 2.5 years almost at this point.
We know they're still together.
We know they're still together. So I feel like this is an adequate amount of time. Like if you're ever coming back to social media, this year is going to be the year. So my personal take on it is, because we were just talking about this situation with our friend Abby, I cannot believe they're still together. But that's just like my personal take on like anyone who cheats. But I also feel like, granted, like if you're Ariel, would you want to just like remain so public because then you're going to be attacked for what you're choosing to do? Probably not. But like his own actions and decisions had like have impacted her ability to like live her life and do the things that she was doing beforehand as well. Like she was doing the podcast, she was, you know, making like she was becoming an online personality as well. So I don't know who it's gonna be. To be honest, what would really make it easier is if they ended up like separating, and then Ariel's finally like, okay, well, we're separated now, so I can finally come back with a vengeance and take over the world.
Personally, I don't see this one happening.
You don't? You think they're just gone forever from the spotlight?
Yes, I think that he's got a degree from like Harvard or something.
That's
I think
him
he
just going to work his desk job?
Yeah,
Oh
or
my
like work
God.
from home or something. I have to imagine that's what he's doing. Or like he's investing in something. I don't know. And I think she's just a stay-at-home mom.
Crazy.
And I think that's
I should look into like, have they been seen publicly?
I think they were spotted at the Eras tour.
Oh,
So
that's just crazy.
okay. Next one I hope this one happens. ACOTAR 6 release or announcement.
Oh my God. I hope so. You know what else needs to happen? I go back and forth on this every day. Like an ACOTAR, like someone buys the rights to ACOTAR.
Yeah. That one's a scary one. Someone has bought, or I think Amazon bought the rights to Fourth Wing.
I think you're right. Someone bought those rights. It'd be interesting. I'd like to see how that gets adapted first to kind of like gauge, like, did this do the book justice? And if that could be done well, then I'd have more faith in the fact that like ACOTAR could be done well. But it's just like, I know ACOTAR exists in like this little bubble for everyone of like, this is our perfect piece of literature.
It's like our collective bubble, you know what I mean? Like
it's our
we
perfect
all
piece of literature.
know what it looks like.
And we want it to just like,
we
have to like assume that like they'd have so much, if this were to actually get produced, they would have so much, I feel like, fan input, and like they would do, what's it called? When people are like, they're brought in to get like their opinions on stuff.
Oh.
What is that called?
I know what you're talking about.
Focus groups. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like they would do a lot of focus groups to like kind of determine like, are we hitting the mark or not?
Did you know Disney did focus groups for
Flynn Rider?
Flynn Rider.
Yeah, I did.
They're like getting every woman that works there. We need the hottest man like that you can literally imagine. Who is it? We have all these drawings on the walls. Yeah, I'm hopeful. A Court of, who knows? And then I personally, if we're talking about whose book we think it will be,
It's gotta be Asriel. I know you're rooting for
Lucian.
an unpopular opinion. You know what else I saw as like a kind of an
I think she's
unpopular
setting
take?
up Gwen and Asriel to be together. Don't you think?
Well, don't spoil it for people.
I don't know.
Nothing's happened. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be Asriel's book. Although, and this wouldn't be like
It's
a
also
separate
just an
book.
opinion. Like, my goodness.
This isn't my personal take, but I was kind of like, I think I agree with that. I know that Tamlin is like the collective hated figure from the series, but I saw someone on TikTok who was kind of saying that like they would not be opposed to a Tamlin redemption arc, and I agree with that. I feel like
I'm fine with a redemption arc. I don't want a whole book about him.
No, I don't either. He can just
And
like,
if you have not read the series, sorry.
He could be redeeming along the way.
Okay. That was all I had for that.
Okay. I was I tried to get specific with this, but I wanted to give myself like the opportunity to like get something right. So it's a little vague. There's going to be some sort of big ocean discovery. So
Such as like an animal or like a lost.
It could be like
object.
a lost, like it could be Amelia Earhart's airplane. It could be
Didn't we already, I could be making this up, but I swear they already like figured out what happened to Amelia Earhart, didn't they?
I don't know. Am I just not well versed?
Like, I swear I've seen stuff where like they are pretty sure her plane. I actually just watched a whole YouTube like short.
So you do know what
documentary
you're talking about.
about this. They never like found her, but I think they like know like.
Well, any aircraft then, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Otherwise, like what else would fit in this category? I feel like an unknown creature, but like relevant enough to like, you know, make headlines.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh, this is a big deal to scientists. Yeah. That's my
they say
vague one.
there's 70% of the
I know, I was
ocean
like, this
that's
has to
been
happen.
undiscovered, so.
If I find nothing at the end of the year that makes headlines, I'll just look it up myself, and I'm sure there'll have been some sort of discovery.
Okay, next one I have. JoJo Siwa will either get pregnant or she'll like announce that she has a surrogate.
Given how she talks about this, like, I would say that's not too far-fetched. My question is, I don't know. I do not keep up with this girl's dating history. So, like, I don't know if she's someone that, like,
I think she would be
cares
fine
enough
raising
to, like,
children on her own if she had to.
I just am like, is that the order of operations that she, like, wants to
she
function
has,
with?
From what I have seen, and do I keep up with this girl either? No, not really. She's kind of, like, forced down my throat. But, like, when I do see her talking about this stuff, she's made it sound like she's like, I'm ready to be a mom, like, right now. And, like, this is my timeline. And, like, whoever is in the picture can be in the picture. But, like, it's happening.
I say this is, like, and I'm not trying to come off as, like, mean. But anytime I see, like, clips of her, it's usually, like, her as being, like, a guest on a podcast or something. And, like, I always get the impression, which, like, makes me uncomfortable and get secondhand embarrassment as, like, a viewer. But, like, she always gives the vibe of, like, there's, like, maybe 2 other hosts there. And, like, they're understanding, like, what they're talking about. And, like, it seems like she's always, like, the odd one out that, like, doesn't understand, like, what's entirely happening or, like.
Can you give examples of, like, what you have seen? Like, there's one specific example.
Well, like, this is, like, one example, but I know there's been more that, like, I won't be able to remember. But she was just on a podcast with Raven Simone, and I think whoever Raven Simone is dating, possibly.
I think she's married.
Married to. And, like, so they were interviewing her, and, like, I don't remember the entire, like, context of the conversation or what was said, but, like, obviously, naturally, like, the 2 hosts are going to be, like, they're the hosts, so, like, they have better.
They're also married.
Yeah. So, like, they understand.
Like,
there's already, like, a 2 versus 1.
Rapport.
And, like, JoJo's coming in as, like, the odd one out here. But, like, Raven had said something about, like, they were talking about dating, I think. And then JoJo kind of, like, made a joke that, like, could have been taken the wrong way, but I think that, like, Raven and her wife, like, didn't take it the wrong way. And then, like, I just was like, oh, like, I feel like you read your audience or, like, the hosts wrong. Of, like, maybe that was, like, a little bit too outside the envelope. And it was just a little strange. But I don't remember exactly what was said.
Interesting.
It was a TikTok clip.
Well, I'll have to find it or something. But the way that you're describing it makes it sound like she did read them appropriately if they didn't take it the wrong way.
I don't know. There was, like, a moment of awkwardness, I felt like. But they were also probably like, we don't want to make this into something. Anyways, that was a longer tangent than I anticipated. So anyways.
Could you imagine, like, I know she is older, but, like, it's just so hard to separate her from, like, the persona.
What's also crazy is, like, she is, from an outsider's perspective, like, she's the exact same person she was before her rebrand to me. Yeah. And that supposed rebrand was,
it's
like,
also
not
weird.
A rebrand
this
at
is, like,
all.
so weird. But, like, she has, like, rebranded herself so far where it's, like, I still see her, even with the rebrand, as, like, a child. But, like, she's gone so, like, overtly
now she's
sexual,
like,
that it's, like, it feels like a child is, like, talking about this stuff. And it feels weird.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like this one okay, so since we had Mudang become viral this year, I felt like I could envision there being another, like, viral, I said specifically baby zoo animal. So then I was like, what kind of animal do I foresee that
and
being?
what zoo?
I don't know. I couldn't even say where Mudang is from.
I think she was in, like, Japan or something. Maybe she was in China.
So I've said a giraffe because I feel like it could be, like, a funny, like, it's wonky giraffe. Something. Yeah. So we'll see if that one comes to fruition.
My next one. This is a brand collab. I picture it being, like, on the coattails of, like, this year, Coca-Cola partnered with Oreo to do, like, their little, like, switcheroo thing. And I was trying hard to think, like, Pepsi's the obvious, you know, opposite to Coca-Cola. And obviously with Oreo, we have to be mindful of not just the Oreo brand itself, but like Nabisco owns Oreo. So I couldn't just say like Chips Ahoy or something, because like they're also owned by Nabisco. So I believe if my brand scouring was correct, Little Debbie's is separate from Nabisco. And so I'm saying there will be a Pepsi and Little Debbie's collab. Well, to be fair, the Oreo and the Coke collab was not good
either, but like that's an interesting
one. And I'm
one.
leaving it open. They can decide which Little Debbie's treat they want to.
That's specific.
It is.
They could do like a Pepsi infused oatmeal
Cream
pie filling.
Yum.
They could do, maybe they could try and do like a little root beer-esque. Well, it's not root beer, but like a Pepsi float.
Debbie's.
A Pepsi float-esque type of flavor combination. You know what? I feel like maybe like a Starbucks collab with some brand. That would be pretty likely.
Okay.
Who did they
What do you
have
think?
they collabed with? Anyone in the past?
I don't know that Starbucks has ever collabed with anyone.
I don't know. Before
like
you
a
had said a
celebrity?
brand name, like Pepsi has like their Nitro Pepsi stuff. So like I don't know if Starbucks would be able to do anything with that.
Do you think Starbucks would collab with Pepsi though? Like Starbucks to me seems like they would go with Coke.
Okay. I don't know. But Coke doesn't have a Nitro foam.
And was the Nitro Pepsi good?
If that's what if you're wanting a flat cola product, then it was fine. I was going to say something else and I've drawn a blank.
Here, let me look up like Little Debbie's snacks. They've got lots of Little Debbie stuff.
You know
in
what
the
I
nursing
love?
home.
Those Swiss rolls. Those are so good.
They could make it shaped like a little Pepsi bottle. We've got honey buns, Swiss rolls, cosmic brownies, fudge rounds, oatmeal cream pies.
I feel like they could do like a cosmic brownie, like just infuse Pepsi into it some way, shape, or form.
And cosmic brownie is probably like their most popular, like
that fits the bill. That's
Yeah.
the ticket.
and like the branding would be fun. It'd be like rainbow sprinkles.
They could do like red, white, and blue. It'd be a
Oh,
USA theme
yeah.
sprinkle.
Okay. I see it.
Okay. I have two more. My next one was another pairing of, instead of like an actual relationship, I said spot it together.
Okay. You're not willing to like commit.
This seems doable though. If they haven't already, like, I think this is
If they haven't already,
certainly
you're that
feasible.
confident they like end up together or
No,
be spotted
just
together.
Spotted together because I feel like they run in the same circles. So Jenna Ortega and Milo Manheim spotted together. Because like they've got their Disney roots, but they're kind of branching their wings. I feel like they're both like, they're in like that B tier list of celebrities where like they're
can walk around
known,
LA.
but like they also like they're not like A-list, but they're at like that same level of fame. They've got similar history and like being brought up into that. If they haven't already, like I totally could imagine they've done movies together, but I'm not sure.
I don't think so,
I haven't looked
but
this up.
I think they would look good together.
That's what I thought. So I was like,
How old is
yes,
Milo Manheim?
24. I just looked it up. She's 22. He's
Okay.
no 23. I don't know. They're perfectly reasonable
Appropriate.
age. Yeah.
How tall is he and how tall is she?
You look up.
He
her
is
height.
6'3".
Oh, she's not that tall, but that's fine.
Oh, he
Jenna-
was just in that Journey to Bethlehem movie.
Jenna Ortega is 5'1". So it's about
Yeah.
a 14-inch difference. But
Some
that's
people love
fine.
that. Okay. Next one. I have two more. This is like, something's got to go wrong in the world. This is
My last one was also
lighthearted-
like a, and I don't like to do, I'm not going to predict anyone's death. Like,
No.
I'm just not going to go there.
This is no death, so it's all good. It's just like it's almost like a Panama Canal, but like less big deal than that. It'd probably just go like, viral in the US or something. I called it Gateway Archgate. People will get stuck in the elevator of the Gateway Arch for like a long time. And they'll be like, probably like, they'll like get stuck and like make TikToks like from inside the elevator and like,
And it's like a viral moment.
yeah.
Okay.
And they're, like following
I feel
them.
like even like any
Someone's
like
going to get stuck somewhere.
in an elevator where it's like a
And like
popular
they're
enough
TikToking. Yeah.
place. I like that. I think that's a good one. My last one. My headspace was also like I need to come up with some sort of like not disaster per se, but like something needs to be like not celebrity or artist adjacent, so therefore it needs to be like
a world event,
an event of some kind. So I am predicting that a dam of some kind collapses, and it's major enough that we hear about it. Okay,
time for the last one. I feel like this is a good one to end off on, and I was like really proud when I came up with this one.
Why are you proud of it, may I ask?
Because it's so specific and like of the moment at the end of the year now, and like with other things, like it combines two viral moments from this year, and I feel like perfectly aligns to be like created
so, like,
next year.
And like beginning of next year, is that what you're like?
No.
Okay.
It would be end of the year or like just in the talks of like starting next year, because it'd be a project. So
Okay.
let me set the scene for you guys. You guys know Monsters with the Menendez brothers had like a huge moment this past year, and everyone loves the Menendez brothers.
So this is gonna be a docuseries about the Luigi Mangione. That's very, very likely it could happen.
I think at least a docuseries of some point. If it was Monsters, like that's obviously not a docuseries. It'd be like a fiction. It'd be a show. But, and I know Monsters already technically said who they were going to do for like their next one, but like
they could switch it up if time
they could be
called
like,
for it.
we got this guy. And then I was looking up like, because I wanted to see, beyond that, I wanted to like see who would play him and then like pick like the white boy of the month. That would then be like,
so you're going like
that.
no name for it to be like.
No, the only one I personally don't think Dave Franco looks a lot like him, but everyone was saying like Dave Franco.
He's been the most popular
like
one
him.
I've seen.
I feel
like
Dave Franco plays him in the show.
So that's who you said.
Yes.
I think based off what I've seen, his acting and kind of like the vibe I'm getting from Luigi Mangione, I feel like he would encapsulate
the vibe.
He'd be a good person.
But like certainly like you have to think for sure docuseries of some sort on Netflix, most likely.
Yeah.
But like,
and it's like,
I'm
especially
talking about
because
TV show, I think a TV show is going to happen. And I think it could be Monsters on Netflix that picks it up. Dave Franco playing him.
I mean, you certainly weren't alone in predicting this, but
really,
I've seen many people say like when this was like first a thing.
Okay, but like Monsters specifically.
Yes.
What?
That's
I
why
have not seen that.
I've seen people being like, whatever the guy that directs it, whatever his name is, like it's like people are making jokes about like this guy like taking notes during like. So I've seen that stuff.
I thought about this independently. Oh. I did think about it independently. So
well, I hate to.
I'm sad that like my grand finale has been thought of by everyone else.
Well,
but that just means that
that's why I'm on board. I think very possible.
Okay, well that's all I got.
Okay, well, I don't really know if I'm like hoping for any of these to come true, but they're just little thought bubbles into the universe. I'm hoping for their engagement. It'd be nice if one of my celebrity couples gained a little bit of traction.
Did you try looking up Jenna Ortega and Milo Manheim?
Did I try?
Yeah.
I did. There was like a picture of them together, like a red carpet. Like just, they have met each other before. So I feel like that gives further weight to my prediction, possibly. They might have each other's numbers. So I think that's, it's all good. Yeah.
Anyway,
and I was trying to look up to see if they're both single, and like for my 2 seconds, I think so. But if they are dating people, whoops, they could always break up.
Anyways, that's all we have for this episode. Sorry if it's a little bit shorter. We had some technical difficulties while recording this episode, and we just wanted to get all of our thoughts out.
I know we were like, I didn't want to have the surprise element taken away by having to re-record the episode. So hopefully it turned out okay.
Anyways, if you guys have not yet followed us on Instagram, you can follow us at According To. It's all spelled out, no numbers or anything. You can follow our personal Instagrams. We also have 2 YouTube channels, so you can check out our vlog channel. It's just Megan and Ciera, or you can subscribe to this YouTube channel, According To Podcast or something. I don't know what it's called.
We will talk to you guys next Thursday. Bye.